What's up, Boiler Nation? It's Sunday, September 19th, 2021. You're listening to another brand new episode of the Boiler Breakdown podcast. I'm Tanner Lee, along with Evan Webb and Andrew Eiler. And I think I can speak for all of us. We're not in the best of moods tonight recording this episode.
Nope.
Yeah, we were a little overly optimistic last week.
Man.
I think a lot of people were.
It just, I was okay after the game. And then as the night went on, the more I thought about the game, the more frustrated about the game I got.
Mm-hmm. I was the opposite. I was more frustrated like the entire second half to after the game for like 2 hours. And now the more I think about it, I was like, hey, we're 2-1.
Yeah.
That's right where we were hoping we were hoping we were going to be.
Yeah.
So I was more about just like, okay, I don't really care about the game anymore. Just like, is David Bell okay?
Yeah. That was terrifying, especially when they went to commercial break, came back and everybody was around him. Had the card out. I'm like, oh my gosh, because at first I thought I was like, oh, he knocked himself out. He'll be okay. He'll get up. Concussion protocol, yada yada. And
that's what I was.
The longer he was down, I'm like, oh God, is he even moving? And then they finally said he was moving his hands. But when he got
up and they were like holding, he was like, must have like bit his tongue or something.
That's what I was thinking. He must have had some blood in his mouth. But you could tell he wasn't quite sure where he was. You could tell his eyes were pretty dazed. But
not targeting.
Yeah, not targeting. Yeah, clean hit.
Yeah, even though the rule is leading even with the shoulder or helmet. Mr. Kyle Hamilton.
Launching. Oh man, yes, launching is part of it, and he does launch, but no contact to the head.
No forcible contact. Yeah, no forcible contact. Yeah.
Yeah, I might have said something about you, whoever that guy was. Yeah, you're only saying that because you work for NBC, sir.
Yeah, he was calling for one of our defenders' heads earlier in the game when our guy led with his arm, and he's like, "Oh, I don't know how that's not even targeting." It's like, you're muted, Andrew.
Yeah.
But that guy was a clown and a half.
NBC. That was what I got more frustrated with. It wasn't ultimately that. Yeah, I wasn't that frustrated with like Purdue's play that much. I was more frustrated with the broadcast.
Yeah, and then you had like Tirico. They mentioned the drum, which I figured they would, but then as it went on, he kept making just more and more it was just like condescending. Okay, let's give it up here. I know it's stupid, but it's like, I can go back to talking about Nicki Minaj's cousin. I was like, all right, Tariq, I like you a lot, but come on, man.
I thought Breeze did a good job. I also thought he felt a little uncomfortable. He looked like towards the end of the game a little bit.
Towards the end of the game, he was not talking a whole lot.
No.
I think.
Well, then that pass interference call right before Bell got knocked out that they didn't call. He was upset about that one, and I think Tariq even was like, "That's a missed call."
Yeah, he did. How do you not call that one?
That was like. I was Durham level at Minnesota during that, especially. It was like maybe a little bit less because it wasn't like a touchdown, but the fact that it was Notre Dame is what really drove me over there. And just the fact that Karlaftis was getting held all game, which obviously holding happens, but it was every freaking play, which I guess is kind of the the mantra. If you do it every play, they can't call it every time, so might as well keep doing it. But
and it's what can you get away with?
Yeah,
was it Northwestern last year? The defensive backs that were just holding Bell the entire time and didn't get called for anything. So hey, if they're gonna let us do it, let's just keep doing it. Yeah,
right. But I knew not having Xander Horvath was going to hurt the offense. I didn't think it would hurt him as bad as it did yesterday.
Yeah, we could have really used him, especially mostly in pass protection. Not so big. The run game was what it was. I knew it wasn't going to be great, but I'm not sure how much he could have helped. Maybe a little bit here and there, but I think we clearly could have used him just as another body to block because, my God, Jack was running for his life.
I thought, I don't know if he would have done any better than Doru or Downing, at least running, because there was nothing outside of King Doru, a 30-yard run in the second half. Outside of that, there was not much there. I was kind of hoping they were going to just kind of abandon it. I know Brom wants to have the balance and kind of try to work off the play action, but there's no time to let the play action develop. So I think go to those they call them the long handoffs, basically, where the swing passes, the short quick passes, use that as the running game like we had to do 5 years ago, or the entire Darrell Hazel year, because they couldn't run the ball then either.
I mean, Breeze was saying it was like, I mean, especially with RPOs, it's kind of just an extension of your run game. I mean, it's because if you can't run it up the middle, you can get creative with it. So,
yeah.
I thought the run game and really a lot of the momentum swung in the first half on the end around on 4th and 1 when they tried to Milton right and he got nothing. I thought right there the momentum kind of flipped Notre Dame's way and never really came back to Purdue's way.
Did they have the long touchdown after that? Was that when Notre Dame had the long 4th down touchdown too?
Might have been
that next drive.
The 4th and 3, which we almost batted that ball down.
It was.
Yeah, because that was frustrating because 2 of their touchdowns, one came on 4th and 3, one came on 3rd and 7. And it's just like, oh man. But not having Corey Trice was a killer. Sounds like he's going to be out for a while.
That was like totally out of nowhere. Like there was those Twitter rumors from some random account. And they're like, no, that's bogus. And you see him walking to the bus. Like, it's fine.
I think even like Tom said, oh yeah, he's like Tom saw him walking off the bus and no boot or anything like that. And I was like, oh sweet, there we go. And then like Mike Carmen tweeted like right after, or at least he sent it to our group, and he's like, he's out. And I'm like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah, it's just frustrating. A lot of missed opportunities.
I mean, yes and no. I feel like, I guess the defense played really well.
Yeah, they played with some edge. Yeah,
and gave the offense a chance, but they never really had a rhythm.
No,
they're really. I mean, I don't know. Everything was tough. Everything was tough for the offense.
Notre Dame did a great job of not letting Purdue hit the big plays. Like the week 1 and week 2, Florida State and Toledo hit big plays, and they just did not let Purdue get anything over the top. I mean, Purdue even tried a little trickery. We're going to do that double pass. Wasn't open. I mean, they were just cutting a lot of things off. So
and when Milton Wright got it, like that defender, he read it like a book. Like he didn't get faked at all. So I was like, wow, because I was wondering how he got smothered up so fast, and the defender just saw it the whole way.
Yeah,
that was.
And I know Milton caught a great touchdown. Besides that, I thought he had another rough game.
Yeah. I don't remember Brock Thompson much.
Nope.
He had a couple. I've got it here. He had 2 catches for 18 yards.
And Mershawn Rice had like 2 catches, didn't he?
He had 4 for 37.
4 catches. So I knew he looks good. I don't know. Yeah, Milton has had a lot of chances, and it seems like he's.
Yeah, Milton had 3 for 17. One of those was a touchdown, and he had at least 2 drops. One of them was a crucial, not even sure. Like, it didn't even it went right through his hands. His whole body. It didn't even miss. I can't remember. Was that in the end zone, or was that just
outside it?
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, Jackson Anthrop played well. A lot of his yardage was when Aiden O'Connell came in, though. Aiden was definitely looking for him, especially when David Bell went out. What'd you guys think about that decision to pull Jack and put Aiden in? All of a sudden, when I looked up on TV and Aiden's coming, I'm like, did Jack get banged up and I missed it?
Same.
I was confused. My dad texted me, hey, is Jack hurt? Like, no, I think he just wanted to do it just because Rothfuss wasn't doing it, which I'm okay with. Okay, I go back and forth because say Aiden comes in and wins it, all of a sudden it's like I'm tired of the QB controversy, but I also get, if the offense isn't doing anything and you have a capable backup, why not see if it? You saw Notre Dame do that a couple times, or even you saw Oregon State do that against us, and it worked. So it's not always going to work, but if it works, it works.
I was okay with it because like we said, there wasn't a whole lot of space, and O'Connell just has a lot more zip on his passes. I think Plummer wasn't playing bad, and nothing wrong with Plummer's arm or anything like that. But he didn't have time to get it into some of those tighter windows, 10, 15 yards down the field, and O'Connell was just 3 steps and zipping it.
Yeah,
that Anthrop. They were really tight, not probably ill-advised throws.
Yeah, there were a couple times. I think
they worked out.
I texted to you guys. I can't remember what play. It might have been the Jackson or the Anthrop throw.
That was like 4th and 8 or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like if Jack throws that ball's picked because he just doesn't have the zip that Aiden does.
Right. And even one of his 2 interceptions, he hit Payne in the chest.
Yeah, I thought that was
in the end zone.
I thought maybe it was like a bad throw, and then I saw it was like that's just Payne. It was a perfect throw. Payne just has to catch it.
Yeah. It also went right by a linebacker's head.
Yeah, it was a tight window.
Yeah,
it hit his ear hole.
Yeah, it's interesting on Knucklehead Central. There's definitely it's kind of split who should be the quarterback, but I still think they should roll with Plummer against Illinois.
He hasn't done anything.
Line. Yeah, he hasn't done anything bad. I think, just given the offensive line and what we do. I mean, but then it's also like, well, Aiden played well, and it was the same offensive line, but I think, especially late in the game, they were playing more of a prevent defense, so maybe that had something to do with it, but yeah, I don't know.
Right.
It's tough, but I think they're roll Jack. I'm happy with it.
It'll be interesting to see if his leash is any shorter now.
Yeah.
Or if it was just like what you said, Webby, trying to spark something.
Yeah, because I think he came in, the fourth quarter?
Mm-hmm.
I think was it the start of the fourth quarter, or was it already like most of the way through the fourth? I can't remember.
I think it was already. I think it was like 10 minutes left.
Yeah, he only played like 2 drives, like 2 or maybe 3.
He threw
2 picks,
18 passes, 11 of 18, 104 yards, 2 picks. Longest was 27.
Because Jack still hasn't thrown an interception this year.
Nope.
Correct.
Because the only other pick was Albers, Jack Albers, or on that
the fake field goal against Oregon State. Yeah, but no, I thought the defense gave. I mean, they had a couple plays here and there they missed, but for the most part, I was happy with their performance.
Yeah, it was like 3 or 4 plays, which is going to happen, especially against Notre Dame, full of 5 stars.
We play. We've heard Brian Newber talk about it, just the way how aggressive we are. You're going to give up those big plays, which I mean, yeah, like I'm okay with giving up a couple as long as you can make up for it on the other end. I mean, and part of it too was like we were testing, or we were asking for Cohen because he missed on quite a few. It's like you keep letting him do that, he's eventually going to get one. I mean, he's a starting quarterback in Notre Dame for a reason, and he did eventually.
Yeah, he's a pretty killer. Killed him at Wisconsin.
What did you think of the long run, like Notre Dame's last touchdown, where he broke a bunch of tackles? I was kind of torn on, I don't know. Somebody came in and tried to strip it, and he shrugged him off and was gone. And it's I get that, playing aggressive and try to strip it, or just tackle him and live to fight on. But then I was also kind of did they just kind of quit there? That was what I thought.
I thought it was he was trying, once just really frustrated with how the whole game was going. Then he tried to strip it and then just kind of gave up. Yeah, I think probably just a lapse in judgment there. And
well, I mean, that's what it seemed like why he was wide, busted through, and there was nobody shrugged off a few guys, and nobody really hit him clean except whoever it was. I don't know who it was that tried to strip it, which is fine, but I don't know.
But just some frustrating things here and there. But 27-13 was the final. I think Purdue had 12 or 13 games in a row they had scored 20 or more points, so that streak is now snapped. But it just, like you said, Andrew, felt like nothing was coming easy for the offense yesterday, unfortunately.
I mean, even Purdue's longest play was probably the David Bell catch.
It was
with the 2.
Yeah, and 36 yards, I believe.
There actually was pass interference.
Yeah,
that was a ridiculous catch. That was an unbelievable catch.
Yeah, I haven't read much today about his status. I know he sent out a tweet, and I feel bad because he feels like he let the team down and everybody down. I'm like, you're playing your heart out. You didn't let anybody down.
Well, okay, so I know he didn't do anything. Clearly not his fault at all.
Yeah.
But so when did he actually go? Was it in the third quarter or fourth?
That was
quarter?
The fourth.
It was the series after. It was the series after the non-pass interference call.
Correct.
Because we were down 7. Because we were down 7 driving, and that was on that pass interference. Non-pass interference was on
6.
3rd downs.
7. Yeah, it was. Okay.
Yeah, we were down 7. So we had a punt, and then they scored, and we got the ball back, and that's when it happened. And we were down two scores at that point.
Because I knew it was we were down 4 going to the 4th, and I didn't know if he got hurt at the end of the 3rd or early in the 4th. I'm like, man, if we have Bell down 4, how much does that change things? And then after the fact, we still had chances, but he'd take one play. He's got the big play potential of anybody on the offense, basically. But definitely not his fault.
I thought Purdue's kicker was real good yesterday. He's nails. Punting,
Yeah.
What happened with Sheffield catching a ball on the 2-yard line?
I don't know what he was thinking.
Yeah.
Let it go.
That was definitely a boneheaded play. So I remember just screaming at TV what are you doing?
Yeah.
And then didn't catch one on the 7 a quarter later, and that puts Purdue on the 1 foot mark.
Marcellus Moore bobbled a kickoff one time, which he picked it up, and he only got to the 12.
Yeah,
and we kicked one out of bounds.
Yeah, that was huge. I mean, just
we
things
just
like
scored,
that.
Yeah, just little things that you just can't. We can't afford to do against a team like Notre Dame.
Nope.
You do it against Illinois, but you can't do it against Notre Dame.
Right.
Purdue needed some luck and some big plays, and didn't have any of it.
No, I did love how the game started with Jalen Alexander with the blitz for a sack. It seems like every year we play at Notre Dame, something happens at the first play. I think 2012, if I remember correctly, Everett Golston got sacked by Quan Short right away to start the game. And then I remember 2010, Dane Christ, first pass of the year, because it was the first game of the year, he threw one that Mac Charlo dropped. It should have been picked off the first play of the year. It's like, should have known right then it wasn't going to swing our way that day. But, yeah, it was frustrating. Shillelagh stays up in South Bend at least till 2024. So,
can you guess who led Purdue in tackles?
I've got it up, so I'm not going to say.
Oh, okay.
Was it Jalen Graham?
No, he was fourth. Cam Allen.
Just say a Thieneman.
Yeah.
Marvin Grant was second, so it's not good when your defensive back and your safeties are leading
both safeties.
tackles. And that's not good.
Very true. Very true. But, yep, disappointing, but I mean, it is what it is. At least we didn't absolutely get our doors blown off. But still frustrating.
Down 4 going to the 4th, and you lose your best player and then with Horvath, your starting running back not out, and your best cornerback not there. I mean, all in all, pretty good for 75% of the game.
Yeah, uphill sledding pretty much.
You can take a lot of positives out from this game, at least on the defensive side. They played really well. They contained them pretty well for the most part. I mean, they were able to get through. I mean, I know George had a half a sack, and he had a couple hurries on Cone. So, I think all the positives obviously came from the defensive side of the ball. And I said our place kicking was pretty good. Yeah, it's just unfortunately the offensive side, which is obviously what we were most confident in going into the season with, was this one that struggled the most.
Yeah, and that's what I don't know. I feel like I don't know if there's outside of Ohio State or Iowa, what defense would you compare Notre Dame to? I mean, someone that have that much talent, and their defensive line was very good, or made our offensive line look really bad. Either way.
Well, I don't know, but I used to assume something like Wisconsin probably.
Yeah, I know Iowa, Ohio State,
Iowa,
Wisconsin probably, but like Purdue's not on that level. We know that, but Illinois, the Minnesotas, the IU, Northwestern, Nebraska, I would think it's not going to be, and not a step below that defense. So, I mean, the fact that we can hung in there, learn from it, move on.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting, speaking of Notre Dame, on the recruiting graphic that they have 10 players from Indiana and Purdue is 35.
Yeah.
That was interesting.
Yeah.
Because Notre Dame just gets the top 1 or 2 kids. And
Yep. They're very selective, and then they just go nationwide. Yep. So, but on to a game that the Boilers can't afford to lose, even if they don't have David Bell, is Illinois. It's battle for the Purdue Cannon, which Purdue is in possession of. Illinois is coming off a 3-point loss to Maryland Friday night. So after beating Nebraska week 1, they fall to Texas San Antonio, fall on the road to Virginia, and at home to Maryland. So Illinois team coming in 1-3, probably not hanging their heads too high.
No, and until you said, Tam, this is a game that we cannot. If we have any hopes of going to a bowl, this is a game that you have to win. And maybe even the next game, the Minnesota game, that's probably a game that's which they're looking.
They look like they have mojo on Saturday. But Illinois, I'm looking at their stats here. Brandon Peters was their only quarterback to play Friday night. He went 10 for 26, 185, 0 touchdowns, 1 pick.
10 for 26.
10 for 26. He had nine rushes for negative 31 yards.
Oh my god!
So a couple sacks.
How did they score 17 points?
Well, it looks like
they lose 20 to 17.
They had 1 rushing touchdown, and
I mean, if he had 10 completions for 186 yards, he must have had like an 80-yarder in there.
He didn't throw a touchdown. Yeah, they had 1 rushing touchdown.
We have a defensive touchdown, maybe?
No, it doesn't show that they did.
Huh.
1 field goal made. I'm really confused.
Let's pull this up.
I've got it up 10. Okay, so they have 25-yard field goal, 38-yard touchdown run, 30-yard run.
Yeah, it shows this app is weird for me. It shows that 2 receivers scored touchdowns, but it doesn't show that Peters threw any.
So it's Casey Washington, 30-yard run, And then Joshua McCray, 38-yard run is what ESPN says.
Yeah, that's exact. But mine shows up in the receiving category instead of the rushing category. That's weird. I don't know. But, yeah, Illinois, this is a team Purdue got last year. You remember the last time they came to Ross-Ade, 2019, was just an absolutely miserable downpour of a game, if you even want to call it a game. But Illinois' got a new coach, Brett Bielema, is head coach now. No Lovie Smith on the sidelines.
No Sam Phillips.
No, 3:30. Big Ten.
The early line, I see Purdue minus 11, which I didn't know they had lines out this early.
I didn't either. I don't have any on my phone, so
ESPN has some up. There's some big lines this week.
Minus 11. Yeah. I would want to know if David Bell's playing before I hit that or not.
Oh yeah, I know. I'm hoping this is a game that we don't need David Bell.
Right.
I mean, yes, David Bell is clearly the alpha and best, but clearly, yes, that's what I was saying. Against an Oklahoma State Akron, yeah.
What is it? 40?
49.
I don't think they're covering that. I know we're previewing that a little early, but Ohio State, I don't know.
I mean, what was the Michigan? Who'd they play this week?
They killed Northern
Illinois, like 63 to 7 or something. Yeah.
What was the last time Michigan scored 63?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go check how our boy Rocky Lombardi did. 9 for 17 for 46 yards for Northern Illinois.
He get benched.
He did have 7 rushes for 72 yards.
Good for him.
Yeah, but how are we feeling going into the matchup with the Illini?
I'm feeling okay. I think it'll be that was a good, like we said, measuring stick in Purdue for 75% of it was clearly they weren't the better team, but they were competitive. They hung in there. I think you get the better offensive line play and just gives the quarterback just a little bit more time to see the guys or the wide receivers to get a little bit more open, and then it's a little different. Really encouraged by the defense. So I think assuming that Purdue, the defense will be up for it like they were. I mean, obviously that was a primetime game against the top 25 team on the road, so they're probably a little amped. So it's like to keep that energy, I think they should be able to dominate pretty bad offensively Illinois team.
Yeah, I haven't watched them on much besides week 1 against Nebraska, and I know they beat Nebraska that week, but even then, I remember their offensive line just getting dominated by Nebraska's defensive line. So hopefully that carries over. I'm feeling pretty good about the matchup, even if Purdue doesn't have David Bell. Definitely glad it's at home, though, and not at Illinois.
Yeah.
Caleb Gerald on Periscope says he thinks Doru runs for over 100.
I would take that.
Yeah, if that happens, Purdue, I think, wins pretty comfortably.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I hope the defense can just hope George just takes up residency in that backfield.
I mean, he has them.
Yeah, so he did it. Yeah, he's done it every game, so I don't see why it's any different.
Yeah.
So if David Bell doesn't play, who's your breakout wide receiver this week? Who's it going to be that's going to
Brock Thompson?
It's got Jackson Anthrop. I don't know.
I think Brock Thompson.
I want it to be Brock Thompson or Marshawn Rice or something. But
I'm going to go Marshawn Rice. I like what I've seen out in the last 2 weeks.
I want Rice. I want it to be Rice or Thompson as well because I think I want them to get.
Rashawn's number 9, right? Because I kept throwing.
Yeah.
Like every time I was like, who the hell is number 9?
He looks huge.
Yeah.
It's I would like to see some other tight ends get involved too. Besides Payne, it'd be nice to if Garrett Miller's healthy, get him in there or Bill Dow. I just want to see. I don't know. I want to see more targets out there. Mix it up a little bit. See
hopefully, what do you do about Milton? I'd love to see him have a get right game. I don't know.
He gets open. He gets open. He's just got to catch the ball.
Yeah, I said that after Oregon State. I wanted that to the UConn game, and he didn't really get a ton. But I just like him. I just want him to do well. But
I know
at some point you have to. I mean. You can't be a liability out there. We've got a stacked receiver room.
This is your 3.
Yep. It's I don't know. It's interesting. We'll see what kind of wrinkles Braum pulls out. I was a little surprised. I thought we might see Austin Burton in a package yesterday, and we never did. I'm starting to think maybe we're not going to see that.
I was thinking the same thing, especially with how much trouble we had keeping Jack clean. I mean, he was spinning out of the pocket every
Do you think he's just maybe just too afraid to throw something like that when the game's tight? Do you think he's just maybe afraid of, like kind of talk about we can't, especially against a team like Notre Dame, we can't afford mistakes, like dumb mistakes. You go into play, damn near a perfect game against a team like that, and throwing in, a quarterback for a play or two, and him throwing a pick or whatever maybe. I don't know. I wonder because we don't really see a whole lot of trickery, unless like we're winning or we just need something.
He did the first drive that O'Connell came in. Purdue was on like the 1 yard line, like their own up against. That's kind of a risky time. I feel like to change quarterbacks in a pressure situation. You're a botch snap away from a safety or giving up a touchdown pretty quick.
Yeah, and a guy who can't move very well with his feet in the end zone. Like, boy,
a shoddy offensive line. Yeah.
Thad Mooney says stack wide receiver room. He's talking about Milton Wright. He's had his chances enough to get a right game. Next man up to see what they got. Can't hurt.
Yeah, it's getting to that point. Yeah,
I think he dropped a lot a couple years ago. Last year was better, and that was where it seemed like he was past it. And I think it's mental, right? Like I think in practice he probably is fine, but
I mean Brahms even noted it's all about confidence. He said he works harder than anybody on the practice field. So. Yeah, it's just got to get a game where you don't have any drops.
But you saw, his potential. That catch for a touchdown was
that was a pro's catch.
It was a pro's catch. Yeah, I think I saw a Boiled Sports tweet that because that drive was David Bell had that awesome catch where he kind of was falling.
Yeah,
and
then he got the pass interference call to keep the drive alive.
Yeah. And I think both
because we got stopped on the goal line.
Those guys showed their. Why they were rated so high coming out of high school on that drive, and that's true. I mean, those guys were keys to that drive.
Yep.
When we needed it badly.
So looking forward to being back in Ross-Ade again. 3:30 kickoffs are fun. Definitely hoping for a W. Feeling good about it. But let's go around the Big Ten, give our predictions before we get to that game. We got a comment real quick. Caleb Gerald saying, what about you seeing absolute speedster? Yeah, we haven't seen him yet.
I think he's been hurt.
Yeah, he got hurt last year, and I don't know if he's recovered or not. I think it was like an ankle or foot or something.
I love to see him, like Colin Sullivan. We haven't seen him.
Right.
Do you want to try to say his first name? His whole name?
Tanner.
Nope, that's Webby.
Abdul Rahman Yassin.
See, that's why. I'm not going to botch it. I've botched it enough. The Irish this week, they're playing in Soldier Field. How do you feel about that, Webby?
I thought Purdue Notre Dame were playing in Soldier Field.
That's what people – was the UConn game?
Yeah, CBS Sports Network said that about 10 times.
Yeah. I hate it. But.
Notre Dame is playing the Badgers, Wisconsin, in Soldier Field. Who do you guys like in this one?
I still like Wisconsin. I mean, I don't think Notre Dame is as good as their ranking says. I mean, they're good. Obviously, they're Notre Dame, but I think they're more of a 18 to 25 ish team. They're top 15.
It currently says Wisconsin minus 5.5. Did you say that? Sorry. Yeah. I would like to see Notre. I don't know. I feel dirty saying this. I want to see Notre Dame win by like 2 touchdowns, just so that like.
Feel a little better about it.
Our game with being competitive that makes it seem.
Yeah.
That we weren't like that. I don't know. Make it feel a little better about the last game, even though I feel okay. I agree. I think Wisconsin.
That make me feel better going into the Wisconsin game. That's for sure.
Yeah, they'll give them 2 L's already.
Yeah. I'm going to pick Wisconsin just because. Mm-hmm. Actually, that's interesting. I just realized this, but it's Cohn against his old team.
He knows them pretty well. They know him pretty well. So,
and I don't know much about Wisconsin's defense in terms of how good they'll be against that Notre Dame line, who's on their third string left tackle.
Yeah. I'll pick the Badgers by a touchdown.
Yeah, I think they cover it barely. They get like a 1-score game, 1-touchdown game.
Bowling Green at Minnesota, which Minnesota went out to Boulder yesterday and pitched a shutout. That surprised me.
I got the spread of 31 for Minnesota.
The Bowling Green's 1-2. So
who have they played? Let's see. Bowling Green's played. ESPN predictor
Tennessee.
has.
They lost to Tennessee and then lost to
South Alabama.
I was like USA. I don't know who USA.
Oh boy.
They beat Murray State by 17.
Yeah, give me Minnesota easy.
Yeah, I think they cover.
Mm-hmm.
Ohio at Northwestern. Ohio's 0-3, but Northwestern's 1-2 after losing the close one on the road at Duke yesterday.
Yeah, this is a 15-point spread in favor of the Wildcats.
Wildcats versus Bobcats.
Bobcats, yep. I think Northwestern covers that. I don't know anything about Ohio,
Yeah.
but I think just
they've lost. They lost by 20 to Syracuse. They lost to Duquesne and then got whooped by Louisiana Lafayette.
Northwestern just doesn't score a lot of points. I mean, they scored 21 against Michigan State, 24 against Indiana State, and 23 yesterday against Duke. So I'll take Northwestern in this one.
I think like a 21-3 type game.
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds right.
Villanova at number 10.
I didn't realize Villanova had a football program.
They were good when we were in high school. I remember. I think they were FCS though. Like they weren't.
They bumped up to FBS just recently.
Did they?
Interesting. Yeah, I had no idea.
Penn State looked good against Auburn last night in the whiteout. Penn State's gonna roll in this one.
There's no line. I don't see a line. It's gonna be a big. If there is a line, it's gonna be big.
Yeah.
Kent State, they continue to play Big Ten opponents. They're 1-2. They're at 3-0. Maryland.
Maryland's 14.5-point favorite. I think Maryland rolls in that one.
My God, they're going to be – if they win this game, they're 2 wins away from being bowl eligible already. I thought they're going to win like a game or two all year.
Who do they have upcoming? Let's see here. Then,
yeah, once they get into the East, they may not win another game.
It gets real fast because the next 2 games are home against Iowa and then at Ohio State.
Yeah, good luck. Yeah.
And then at Minnesota, home against Indiana, home against Penn State, at Michigan State, home against Michigan, and at Rutgers. So this is literally their last easy game.
Yeah, they might not win one after this one.
They may not.
I'll take Maryland pretty easily.
Yeah.
Colorado State at number 5, Iowa. Colorado State's 1-2. They're not very good.
22.5.
22.5.
I got 22.5 for Iowa.
Yeah, I think Iowa covers that.
Iowa's number 5 in the nation.
Yeah.
3-0 Rutgers at number 25. 3-0 Michigan.
Look, I'm a little surprised by the spread. 18.5.
Yeah.
That sounds a little high to me.
Yeah.
No respect for
Schiano. I think Michigan wins this, but I don't think they cover.
I agree with you, Webby.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a close game.
Yeah, I do think Harbaugh's got I think Harbaugh's got a really good squad this year, though.
Who's their quarterback?
Milton. Is it Joe Milton or something?
He's not there anymore.
Is he a transfer or is it a?
It was Milton.
Let me see here.
I guess I could probably just click on.
It's they got 2 of them. It looks like they have Cade McNamara and McCarthy. JJ McCarthy.
I'm assuming McCarthy's the backup.
Yeah,
that came in when they were up
6 passes yesterday.
Yeah, when they were up 50-3 or something.
Interesting matchup here. 2-2 Nebraska, who gave Oklahoma all they wanted.
Yeah,
didn't see that coming.
The heck?
At 3-0 Michigan State. I think we can start saying Michigan State might be the most improved team in the country.
Were they ranked last week? I show them as number 20 right now. I don't know what ESPN is showing them, but they're showing them as 20.
They're ranked last week.
They must be ranked now because they went down and beat 24 Miami on the road yesterday by 2 touchdowns. Yeah.
Michigan State -4. That seems I know Nebraska. I don't know. I know they actually talking to our friend Ryan is a Nebraska fan. He was upset after the game because then they lost by 6 with 2 missed field goals and an extra point that was blocked and returned for 2 points for Oklahoma. Yeah.
Their special teams kills them every week. I
didn't watch much of that game.
Yeah,
so I have no idea how it was that close.
I'm going to take Michigan State. I keep writing them off like they're pretenders. They caught my attention this past weekend.
Yeah, I think they. I think they roll. I mean, I think.
I want to say Michigan State big. Yeah. Like 17.
Mel Tucker, I didn't think he could do it this fast, but
it's a night game. It's a 7:00 game, so
yeah, that's a good point.
East Lansing will be rocking.
Columbus 7:30, Akron at Ohio State. You said it's a 49-point spread.
Poor Akron. Oh my God, I don't think Ohio State.
I think they cover. I think they do. It's going to be like the Michigan. It's going to be the Michigan Illinois game, but worse.
I don't think they covered against Who they played this last week? Tulsa. They didn't cover against Tulsa, I don't think.
They already have one loss. I mean, like they're gonna go win by 80 again.
I don't think they cover. I think it's like a 42-17 game.
So Ohio. So here's Akron's schedule. They lost 60-10 at Auburn. They lost 45-24 against Temple.
Ugh.
Who lost but 63-10 to Rutgers.
Yeah. Okay.
And then they beat the Bryant Bulldogs.
Ooh, poor Zips.
I say they cover and lose by 48. Cover 5 points somehow.
They go for 2 at the end instead of going for 1.
I think Ohio State puts up 70.
And then Indiana. 1-2 Indiana. You hate to see it.
Hate to see it.
At 1-1 Western Kentucky. Yeah, Indiana's no kidding.
What?
Thank God Cincinnati woke up, Andrew said.
It was all after that targeting call, which was questionable. It was targeting, but the fact that he got ejected for it was criminal.
Well, that's the dumb college rule. It should be like the NFL where you get 2.
I think it can be like it has to be 2 or like if it's blatant. I think the Hamilton one on Bell was an injectable offense, just given the way he came at him. But yeah, the one that McFadden did was, I mean, I was happy to see it and was laughing about it, but it was not good, and it flipped that game. I didn't think Cincinnati was all that good either. But I mean, the line's only IU by 9. Only IU by 9. I think IU covers that.
Skip's saying Hilltoppers by 17. If that happens, IU's going to explode.
Yeah,
I would love that, but I think IU wins by 2 touchdowns. I don't think.
Penix has looked awful though. Penix has looked awful.
But I think IU's defense is good enough. Is he out? Does he have to sit out a half or something?
No, because it was the first half. So
okay,
it was pretty early. It was like first or second quarter. So
it was second quarter, but I didn't know if they were still suspended for something like a full game. But whatever you miss, if you miss the second half, then you have to miss the first half of the next game or something.
Yeah, that's what it is. Because there's a guy for Auburn last night that got called for targeting against Penn State, and he had it was like late in the fourth quarter, and so he's got to sit out the whole
sucks.
First, which really sucks.
What's the spread on this game again?
9.
I think IU wins by about 13.
Let's say like 20 or 21.
I think Western keeps it close. That place should be rocking down there.
Yeah.
If they have any fans, I don't know. Jeff Brom leaving, they've been bad ever since. So
yeah.
But we can hope.
Hey, they hung in there with Army 38-35. I think Penix is bad enough right now, and he's playing so bad.
He can't move. He can't move with his knee. So he's becoming a pocket
that he's had 8 picks the last 2 years, and he's thrown 6 already this year or something crazy like that.
Penix for Heisman.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
quarterback Jeremiah said he was one of the best quarterbacks in the conference.
48% completion percentage, 4 touchdowns, 6 picks.
Yeah, my belief is his knee's screwed up still, and he can't be mobile, so he has to stay in the pocket, and it's really affecting everything he does.
I watched the first half, and then that was about it. I think I caught some of the end, and I was kind of flipping back and forth, but he would get into trouble, almost trying to, instead of taking a sack or throwing it away, he would try and force it, and got picked off every single time, it seemed like.
Before we go to the top 25 matchups, I got a comment here from Skip. He says, do we turn to inexperienced running back in our stable, and do we not believe in Marcellus Moore, or is he too small? Yesterday was painful.
I mean, we don't really have much in our running back stable. That's the problem, unless you mean going to Downing.
Cross, I think, the freshman, the true freshman.
I too early in the season for that.
I think Doru's showed enough.
Yeah.
And Downing's been fine. I think you keep it as it is. I mean, maybe get Anthrop or somebody involved a little bit. And just keep – I almost wish we wouldn't have run the ball at all the second half. Just go to the swing passes. I mean, okay, whatever.
RPOs,
3-4 yards. Maybe break a tackle and can go. But I don't know. We can't run the ball up the middle, especially against a team that's not like an Oregon State or UConn or something like that. Once again, we're not able to, because our offensive line is going to be at best even. We're not. There's not going to be a defensive line and on the rest of our schedule. The offensive line is going to overpower and control.
I really wish we could have seen the offensive line with the other 3 guys that are missing.
Mm-hmm.
I think it would have made a big difference.
Mm-hmm.
But it's part of it. Not a lot of good top 25 games on the docket this week, really. It's pretty bad. We got a couple here. I mean, Georgia at Vanderbilt.
Yikes.
I think Georgia's got a roll on that one.
34-point spread. Yeah, they cover that.
Coastal Carolina is ranked 16th.
I have them at 17th on here.
Yeah, 17th.
They're hosting UMass, who's 0-3.
35.5.
35.5, you know. How about Fresno State? Fresno State, 22.
Called that over at UCLA, I want to say, the other night on the pod.
You did.
I guess one of the bigger games is number 7 Texas A&M at number 20 Arkansas.
Texas A&M 5.5-point favorite.
Oh man, without their quarterback.
What happened?
Last week against Colorado, he cracked his leg.
Oh, okay.
That's what it said on the bottom line: leg crack. That doesn't sound good. I'm gonna take the Hogs. Yeah, I'm gonna take the Razorbacks.
Pig Suey.
Yep,
Yeah.
Sam Pittman in the Hogs.
Yeah, sure. Upset special.
Was it Arkansas who beat Texas? And
Yes.
Arkansas was supposed to be like the basement besides Vanderbilt. It was supposed to be like the easy game in the SEC.
Did you guys see after that game they had a graphic on their Jumbotron and it had horns down?
No.
Everybody just loves crapping on Texas. It's fantastic.
I mean, it's like Duke in basketball. It's like,
yeah.
I mean, at least Duke wins in basketball, though. That's the thing. But if you get a chance to take a shot, you do it.
Yep. Tennessee at number 11, Florida. How about the fight Florida put up against Georgia?
Yeah.
I was watching that game.
Alabama. Was it Alabama?
Oh, yeah, Alabama. Did I say Georgia?
Yeah.
Sorry, Alabama. Yeah, Alabama. Yeah. Nobody gives Alabama a fight like that.
No.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
And then to end it with the sack, though, how it ended.
Yeah.
They had the ball, and I was like, oh, man, just throw it up. Do something. Give it a chance.
This is 2-1 against 2-1. Old-fashioned rivalry, Tennessee, Florida. But I think the Gators get the Vols here.
Yeah, I mean, Tennessee's beaten Tennessee Tech and Bowling Green. They lost to Pittsburgh.
I want to see Tennessee burn.
Same.
I know, Webby, you've always talked about that fan base. I think that football program's a joke.
Yeah.
So with how they ran off Shiano,
it's
and I love that she's
delusional.
doing well.
It's very
Shiano's doing so well at Rutgers.
They're very Nebraska-esque. In
Yep.
fact, that they were really good at one point in the 90s, and that's about it.
Yep.
I think Florida, especially after like the confidence boost you get with taking Alabama down to the wire, I think and it's in the swamp. Yeah.
How about number 21 North Carolina at Georgia Tech? Georgia Tech's 1-2, but they gave Clemson everything they wanted last night, losing 14-8.
North Carolina whooped. I mean, it was a high-scoring game against Virginia, 59-39. And I think North Carolina had a bit of a losing streak against Virginia. I'm still going with Mac Brown, though.
I am too.
Mac Brown and the boys.
I am too. But I don't know what was up with Clemson last night.
They did not look very good.
No, that was weird. West Virginia, who thumped Pittsburgh yesterday, they go to Norman to play number 3 Oklahoma.
I think. Yeah, Oklahoma 16.5.
Yeah, I think Oklahoma has a wake up call. They get focused and roll.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Arizona at number 4 Oregon. Arizona's 0-3. Jack Plummer's younger brother made his first career start last night for them.
How'd he do?
Good for him.
I'm going to go see how he did.
I mean, Oregon's a 20-point favorite.
They lost by 2 to Northern Arizona last night. He
Hey,
he was 19 for 34 for 191, a touchdown and 2 picks.
Maybe they shouldn't have fired Kevin Sumlin.
Rich Rod before him.
Yeah.
I think Oregon covers.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I think Oregon was number 3. Wow.
Yeah, they're
I guess after you beat Ohio State, you're getting some respect.
Colorado at number 19, Arizona State. Arizona State lost last night to BYU, so they might be falling out of the polls by tomorrow.
Wait, you said it was Colorado versus what?
Arizona State. It shows them ranked on mine, but they won't be coming.
So they lost to
BYU last night. They lost to BYU last night, so my score app's a little behind when it comes to the rankings. But I think Arizona State beats Colorado, nonetheless.
Yeah.
Not the greatest slate of games this weekend. But the cool thing is with the Notre Dame Wisconsin game being on Fox, Drew Brees and the rest of the Rose Bowl team will be in attendance against Illinois.
I forgot. That's right.
Yeah. So for the 20th anniversary of the Rose Bowl team.
Oh, that was pretty cool. I saw
Drew Rose Bowl game.
Drew posted a picture of it. His family's at the game.
Yeah.
And all of his boys were decked out in Purdue gear, which is pretty cool.
Good.
I think they all were. I mean, all his kids. I think his wife. They all.
His wife was
Yeah, she's a Purdue alum. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he definitely dropped in a Wii a couple times I caught. But I thought he was fantastic.
He did good. That had to be really
too
hard.
Fast at times. Yeah, I can't even imagine how hard that was for him.
And for your first game. I mean,
it's one thing to get warmed up with a couple of games, but the fact it's your first game, it's your alma mater, who you are not shy about, showing your love and support for, and
as he should be.
Yeah, shouldn't be. And I don't think it's any secret. He's doing this with Tirico because NBC wants them to replace Collinsworth and Michaels eventually on Sunday Night Football.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think this is his ideal job calling Notre Dame games, but he needs to practice and make sure the chemistry is good with those two so they can fit right in.
I thought he added a lot of cool insight to the game and just kind of was very similar to Tony Romo in the fact that he kind of was. I mean, he's
way better than Tony Romo.
Oh yeah, but
obviously,
at least he wasn't spoiling plays before like what Tony Romo does.
I always find that crazy how he does that. It's just wild to me.
I have a coworker or someone I work with, like sort of a coworker whose son played Big Ten football, and he says that he'll watch games with his son, and they'll just call plays out before they even happen while watching games, just because they just know the coverages.
Patrick Kennedy on YouTube wants to know, Samson James, how long till he plays?
That's a good question. That was one I don't know if it was on here. I think it was in a group text. I said Monday last week would have been a good time for James to be named eligible. I think tomorrow would be a good time for him to be named eligible. But I'm not optimistic for the year.
I'm not optimistic that NCAA clears him.
I'm not either, especially if that rumor of that IU has to sign off for it. They will not sign off for it if that's true.
Yeah.
Which Purdue wouldn't do the same if it was reversed.
Yeah.
So, but he would help big time right now. I mean, they made it sound like he would be, when Xander was healthy, he'd be number 2 on the depth chart. So,
which is crazy.
That's how Tom made it sound like. So.
Yeah, because Daru, it wasn't.
I know.
Great, but he led the team in rushing 2 years ago. So Daru's had experience and he was talented and
All right, so Boilers, Illini prediction, and score prediction, and MVP of the game.
Let's see here. What's this? Do we have a spread?
11. Purdue 11 is what ESPN
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
Over under is 55.
55. Okay. I think we win by 17. I'm gonna say. Oh man.
Mid-70s and sunny, according to Caleb Gerald right now for Saturday's forecast. Beautiful. It's football weather. It will be officially fall come Saturday. Yep. So.
Actually, I'm gonna not say 17 because I'm gonna say 35. We win 35-17, so win by 18. So, I think MVP. I'm gonna go Plummer. I think he
bounces back.
I
think it's like 30-17. Purdue, I think they just cover. I was thinking Plummer as well, but I'm gonna go Payne Durham. I think Payne Durham dominates.
I did say he was gonna lead the team in touchdowns.
You did. I'm gonna go 31-20.
Okay. And, right at the cover.
Yep. And I'm going with George. He has at least 2 sacks Saturday.
You see after he got the one, he put his finger up as one.
There's one.
Yeah.
I was surprised.
I love it. I love this.
Caleb Gerald saying 38-0 Purdue King MVP with 3 touchdowns.
Jeez, I would
sign me up.
David Bell, just stay in the locker room, go back to your dorm, whatever. Don't even be there. Go put bubble wrap back on. And
speaking of George, real quick, I gotta mention. I know I texted this to you two guys earlier. Pro Football Network came out with their 3-round mock draft today. He's number 2 overall to the Detroit Lions right now.
Oh my God, I would hate that. Oh my God, him and Barnes. Oh my, and Blau. God.
Oh man, he'd be wreaking havoc on fields for years.
He would.
Would you rather see him in Detroit Lions or Green Bay Packer green?
I'd buy a Packer jersey.
Shut up. That jersey. Shut up. I guess I'd rather see him in Detroit because he won't win in Detroit.
That's true. That's true. But man,
also, what I'm scared about
overall. Sorry, it blows my mind.
Indiana Peaks, but I would hate to see him go to the Colts. I'd be real mad.
Keep him out of AFC West for me, which I think the other AFC West teams will be too good to draft high. So,
speaking of, I was going to look up what Rondell's final numbers were.
Man, he had a good game today.
It was like 7 catches.
Yeah, he had like 5 for 105 last time I looked.
He's in the perfect offense for him.
Oh my God! I mean, Kyler Murray's
fun.
So fun. Good. Thank God.
Vikings stink.
Yeah.
All right, here you go. Final numbers for Rondell: 7 catches, 114, and a touchdown.
And the touchdown was 77 yards.
I'm surprised he doesn't get any carries. I would have thought he would have had some like gadget plays or something. Get him on like what he did at Purdue.
Yeah, give him time.
Yep, Caleb says he and Murray will be fantastic for years.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, it's cool though, and if you watch that clip, he's going nuts when he scores because his teammate had an awesome block for him, and he was like just going nuts for the teammate who made the block because that was kind of a busted play that I'm not sure what happened with the defender, but he lost him and just untouched. I mean,
it's a guy you don't want to lose.
No, I mean he's small enough; it's not hard to.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Yeah,
but.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Love seeing former Boilers producing the pros. A lot of them are banged up right now.
Mm-hmm.
Mostert, Ricardo Allen. Don't like seeing that.
Mm-hmm. I haven't checked how Barnes has been doing.
Yeah, I haven't either.
Not paying attention. It's the Lions, so I don't pay attention to him. So.
Yeah, I haven't either.
He'll be on Monday Night Football tomorrow night.
Yep.
Prime time.
Yeah.
Prime time. Well, if you don't have anything good to eat for Monday Night Football, you should get a pizza from Mad Mushroom. Mad Mushroom has been serving Boilermakers since 1993, and it's located in the heart of West Lafayette, and they're well known as the home of the original cheese sticks. Whenever Evan, Andrew, or myself visit, we like to sit down and have an ice-cold beer while trying out their latest pizza of the month, which their pizza of the month right now is the Zesty Salami. That's their buffalo zing sauce covered with salami, mozzarella cheese, and cheddar cheeses, and finished with an Italian zest drizzle, served with a side of ranch, starting at the low price of $13. And if you tell them that the Boiler Breakdown sent you, you get $5 off any order over $20. And any Boiler Breakdown listener or viewer can use the coupon code BREAK5, that's in all caps, BREAK5, to claim your discount online at madmushroom.com. Mad Mushroom, feed your head. We are not sporting any Purdue t-shirts tonight on the podcast. We all have different professional teams on, but when we do, we like to wear them from the shop. And what do we got going on from the shop right now?
The shop has been bringing sports and hometown apparel to the fans since 2011. From our humble beginnings in garages and basements, you can find us at 2 retail stores, can't talk tonight, and online. We make comfortable shirts. It makes us happy. The shop is located in Carmel and Indianapolis, as well as online at theshopindy.com. We make the best shirts, period. Next time you're shopping online, use promo code BREAKDOWN for 25% off your order. These two fine gentlemen here have recently done that.
Yep.
They don't just do shirts, they also do drinkwares as well. You can see this if you're watching.
Lots of stickers. I have lots of
stickers. Yeah, really, really cool stuff.
What a drum there that didn't get to go into South Bend. It was there, just didn't get to go in the stadium.
I'm really surprised they didn't make David Bell walk through the visitor tunnel. When he had
that was funny. Yeah, that was a good one.
I hate Brian Kelly. Oh my god.
I don't know why anybody would want to play for him. He just yells constantly. Just jerk. But Andrew, what's Schroff Landscaping got going on right now? Because I know I need my yard cleaned up.
Yes, sure. Boiler Breakdown podcast is brought to you by Schroff Landscaping. Schroff Landscaping has been in business for over 50 years and can handle all of your landscaping needs, including landscape design, maintenance, irrigation, hardscaping, fall cleanup, and their licensed lawn applicators. Contact them today for all of your landscaping needs at 574-223-2769. Schroff Landscaping, design with you in mind.
And last but not least, the Boiler Breakdown podcast is also brought to you by Webb's Family Pharmacy. Webb's Family Pharmacy is an independently owned community pharmacy with stores located in Rochester, Akron, and North Manchester, Indiana. Be on the lookout for flu shots that are going to be made by appointment. I'm guessing, Evan, you can probably correct me if I'm wrong here. They'll do car appointments for those again this year.
I assume I will follow up. We'll follow back around on that.
We will follow up. But anyway, just simply call it to set up an appointment, and their friendly, caring staff will be happy to help you. For all of your high-quality medical equipment, supplies, and pharmacy services, check their website out at www.webrx.com or give them a call. Webb's Family Pharmacy, the professional pharmacy with the hometown touch. And they are boiler-owned and operated, as are most of these other businesses. I did see we had one more comment here, not a very positive one, but Patrick Kennedy says Robert Marv going to jail for second charge for spouse abuse. Yeah, not good. Robert's had a tough couple last years. Really hope he can get his life back on track. Not good when you hear stuff like that. But any final thoughts heading into the battle for the cannon?
Let's just get healthy this week
and get healthy and
amen with that.
Take care of business.
Yep.
Keep that cannon where it belongs. Then later in November, go get the bucket. So let's boiler up, hammer down, and beat the Illini.
Boiler up.